In this lecture, we are going to discuss the passing structure to a function using pointer as a reference. So let's see how can we pass a structure, object or variable using pointers to a function. Okay, so this is an example where we are going to define the student structure with three data members. This is ID, name and OB. Okay, and this structure can be accessed throughout the program because this is defined globally. Okay, so we have also defined a user defined function before defining the main function, where we have no return type and the function name is print, and we are going to declare a variable which is actually a pointer, because here we have used a pointer operator, the asterisk, and this is the student type. So this is the data type actually, and this data type has been used to declare actually a parameter st, but this is a pointer. Okay, so this pointer is actually now responsible to save the address of another variable of student type as value. Okay, so this is a bit different from the alias, from the nickname of any other variable, because it saves the address of any other variable of the same type, remember. So if you want to access the data members through pointers, so then we shall not use the dot operator. Okay, dot operator can only be used with the sample variable or the alias. So what can we use? We shall use the arrow operator, the dash and the greater sign. Okay, so st and then the writing the name of the data members, and that is actually here. You can see we have accessed the three variables, the data members of the st object, through the arrows operator. Okay, so whenever you use a pointer for the structure, then you shall use the arrow operator, the dash and the greater sign to access the data members of the structure. Okay, so through this way we can print the values. Okay, let's see how can we call it from the main function. So in the main function, you can see here that we have declared s1 object of the student structure of the user defined data type, and then we have assigned values into the data members of that structure. So s1.id, s1.name is equal to Ahmad, and s1.ob is equal to 50. So through this way we have assigned the values and initialized the values into the data member of the s1 object. Then we are going to pass the s1 object. So here we know that s1 will actually pass the copy or the location or the memory location as copy to the another function, the user defined function. So what can we do here? And another point, that static, the pointer cannot fetch automatically the address of the variable. So what should we do? We should pass the address from here, from the calling position. Okay, so we can do it. Print, writing down the reference operator and then the object s1. Through this way we are going to pass the address of the s1 object to the pointer st. Okay, and then we are returning the 0 as successful completion of the main function. So let's see how can we visualize this concept in the memory. So here you can see that in memory the processor will create an object s1 with the data member ID, name and OB, okay, and then we'll initialize these values to the data members. And that space location will have the name S1, and that will have some address as well, okay. For example, the hexadecimal address is here. We have this is an example address 0x1A, okay. So this will be created while executing the main function. Then we are passing the address of the S1 object. So it means that we are passing this address to some another function, to the user defined function, okay. And now this is the user defined function, so function will be called by the processor, and this is known as branching as well. So the address will come to the ST, and this is the pointer, so this pointer will save the address as value. So let's see how can we visualize this in the RAM. Here you can see that processor will actually reserve a space in the RAM for this ST variable, okay. And that ST variable will be responsible to save the address of another variable of the same type. It means of the student type. So as we are passing a variable, an object, the address of the object which has the type student, so it is now legal to pass this address and save it in this pointer, okay. So this pointer will actually save the address of S1. So here you can see the address of S1 0x1A will be saved as value in ST, okay. And this ST has its own address as well. So it means that we can also print out the address of the ST by just writing the reference operator before object ST. So you can access to the address of the pointer as well. Now it means that this ST is actually pointing to the object which is created in the main function, through main function and in the main function, okay. So this S1 is the name of this location, while ST is pointing to this location. So we can use a pointer as well as the name, the variable, to print out these values. So let's see, we are accessing the values through pointer by using the arrow operator, the dash and greater sign, and then the name of the data member. So through this way we are going to print the different values of the actual object created in the main function, okay. So now it is possible to change the values of the object which is created through main function, as its name is S1, okay. So how can we do this? Just like we have accessed the values, the data member, and then we have printed out, you can just use the assignment operator, and using the same syntax we can change the values inside the actual variable, actual object, okay. So write down ST and this arrow operator, and ID is equal to 5. So this will change the value of actual object, and the 2 will be replaced with 5. And if you want to verify this change in the main function, you just need to write down a cout statement after calling the function. So you can use s1 dot id, and then you will see that id has been changed or replaced with value 5, which was performed in the print function, the user defined function, through a pointer, okay. So this is also very similar to the concept using the the reference operator in one of our previous lecture. So we can also use the pointer to pass the reference, to pass the address of the structure variable to the user defined function, and then in the user defined function we declare a pointer, and that pointer will actually pointing to the same location to which the actual variable is actually pointing to. Okay, so if you have any question regarding this topic, so kindly ask me in the comments, and inshallah I will try my best to answer all those questions. Thank you very much.